Many of you were watching along with us last week, a major story as Sean Diddy Combs, rapper and music mogul credited with helping launch the careers of some of the biggest stars in recent years, is now facing multiple civil lawsuits accusing him of sex trafficking, sexual abuse, and rape. Federal agents last week with U.S. Homeland Security raided two of his houses in L.A. and Miami as he faces a string of varying accusations. We want to bring in Fox 5's Lisa Evers, who joins us live with the very latest. And Lisa, he finally broke his silence on social media this weekend.
He did, Lexi, but it's not about this case. He didn't have anything to say about the case. And the reason that we're doing this story today and that I did this report, which you're going to see in just a moment, is that we wanted to get into what could really be happening right now, because he's denied all of the allegations in the 5 civil suits that he's been facing since last fall and last winter. But this turn of events, the video you just showed of that raid on his Los Angeles compound, his estate, really, that was a huge turning point because that was done on the criminal side. So it's clear that there's a criminal investigation that is underway by the federal district and the Southern District of New York. That's been acknowledged, that's been publicly confirmed. But what we wanted to find out was what's been going on these past couple of months when things were seemingly very quiet. Was there something else going on? So I reached out to the she's now in private practice, the former federal prosecutor. She's the one who led the team that put R. Kelly behind bars for more than 30 years. And R. Kelly, just to refresh everybody's memory, he was convicted on multiple RICO sex trafficking charges. So he faced a very serious verdict from the jury and also, very serious case from the federal prosecutors. But here's the report that I filed today with that interview with Nadia Shahada, the former prosecutor. Here it is.
Sean Diddy Combs posted beautiful photos of his youngest daughter on his Instagram with the caption, "Happy Easter from Baby Love." The adorable images are a sharp contrast with the investigation he's facing, one so intense it prompted raids on March 25th on his Miami and Los Angeles homes.
They have now conducted 2 public search warrants of 2 homes. That's a significant step in any investigation. It means they have probable cause to believe a crime has been committed and that they'll find evidence of that crime in those locations.
Combs has categorically denied any wrongdoing in 5 civil lawsuits, as well as the sex trafficking case. But the home raids signaled a critical turning point. It became clear a major federal investigation was underway, says former federal prosecutor Nadia Shahada, who successfully prosecuted R. Kelly in the RICO sex trafficking case that put the R&B singer behind bars for more than 30 years.
It suggests to me that the investigation is well underway. You need more than just kind of allegations to convince 2 different federal judges that you have enough for a search warrant. And so that suggests to me that they've probably spoken to multiple people.
Amid the social media frenzy surrounding the Diddy investigation are unproved allegations going back decades. Shahada says the typical statute of limitations for adult sex trafficking is 10 years, but a RICO charge would change that.
Each of these crimes can also be charged as predicate acts under RICO, the racketeering statute, which would significantly expand the statute of limitations applicable, and you could go back decades.
The next step is for prosecutors to present the case to a grand jury, which could decide to indict Combs and others or dismiss the case.
I suspect that they may have already started presenting evidence to a grand jury or potentially putting witnesses before a grand jury.
Now we reached out to the federal authority that's in charge of this right now. It's the U.S. Attorney here for the Southern District in New York. The spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney declined to comment on the case. We also reached out to Combs' lawyer, Aaron Dyer, who, Lexi, you remember last week, was very adamant he's not guilty of any wrongdoing. He's done nothing wrong. This is kind of a heavy-handed use of military-type force in a civilian neighborhood. But what we can tell you right now is that to hear that former prosecutor who had been on the job more than a decade, she's very well regarded in the legal community and judicial community here in New York, for her to say it's more than possible a federal grand jury is underway. Well, we can't confirm that. They won't confirm that. But she was saying that based upon her experience with these investigations. And I think the other thing that was so important about what she said, Lexi, was that if they are going for a RICO charge, a racketeering charge, that expands the statute of limitations so they can actually go back decades. And this would include whether it's former workers, former employees, any former claims that have been made against him. So it's really quite extensive. And this would be if there are charges that come down from this will be the first criminal charges as a result of these sexual abuse and sex trafficking allegations, Lexi.
Yeah, Lisa, thanks so much. Certainly has been a lot to follow over the last week since those raids happened. And then, of course, you think back to November when he was facing legal trouble with Cassie then, too. So he certainly has been in the spotlight quite a bit as of lately.
No, he definitely has, Lexi. And I think the thing to really keep in mind, we want to emphasize he has denied all of these charges. In those cases that we heard about, the most famous one of the civil cases being the one brought by his former girlfriend, longtime girlfriend Cassie, which was reportedly settled. Settling a civil case, a civil lawsuit, according to the legal experts, is not an indication of guilt. It's just simply, I'm settling this lawsuit. I don't want to put more time into it. I don't want the publicity, whatever is the reason. But that does not mean he is guilty of anything that was named in that civil lawsuit. However, I spoke with another legal expert who said that what can happen is in these civil cases, as we saw with Cassie, where there were unbelievable allegations made, really, really horrible. We also saw with the case number 4, the Jane Doe case, who was a teenager at the time, a high school 11th grader, who claims in her lawsuit, which has still not been settled, that she was trafficked from Detroit, brought to New York, and where she was gang raped. So, but the prosecutor that we interviewed today said that allegations too that are made in these civil cases, if there is credible evidence behind them, they will be considered, they will be looked into and have to be investigated by authorities. So you have to wonder, what was the tipping point here? What were the allegations? Who was the complainant? Who was the victim? Who were the victims that spoke out that maybe tipped this into the criminal arena? And that very intense raid, that we saw in Los Angeles, and also the raid that we saw in Miami, Lexi.
Yeah, a lot of really important points there. Fox 5's Lisa Evers, as always, Lisa, fantastic reporting. Thanks so much.